Hey, welcome back to Cooking with Mark and Oreo. Today I'm going to show you how to make pistachio muffins. I'm a full-time teacher. I also go to school full-time. I'm a husband and a father to Oreo. So I don't have a lot of time to make breakfast. So I like to make a nice batch of yummy muffins so it lasts all week for breakfast. Oreo unfortunately gets disappointed when I make muffins because he can't have any. So I made some bacon this morning and I saved some for Oreo. Oreo, look what I have for you. Look what I have for you. Ha, good boy. So that's Oreo's favorite, but these pistachio muffins are so moist, delicious, and amazing, so you'll love them. So let's start with preheating the oven. We're going to preheat the oven to 375, because then we have a lot of prep work to do. So that'll give us some time to do the prep work. First we're going to spray our pans with some pan bacon spray. I'm lazy, I don't like to use the muffin tins. Because it's just a pain to peel off and stuff, so I just like to spray my tins. And this stuff gets everywhere, because this is a bacon spray, so it's like flour. And I put a lot. And that's probably a little too much. And as you can see, it's all over my counter, so I'll be doing a lot of cleaning later. And I'm just going to set those aside while we do some prep work. So in the pan, I started off with a cup of flour, all-purpose flour, and then you're gonna add a box of Duncan Hines classic yellow cake mix, which I already opened the bag, and I'm just gonna pour it in there. And then a box of instant Jell-O pistachio pudding. That's gonna give them the nice green coloring that pistachio muffin should have. And then you're going to do a half a teaspoon ground nutmeg and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And because I'm going to be using my mixer later for the wet ingredients, I'm just going to take the whisk by hand and I'm going to whisk all that together. Now that we have our dry ingredients ready, we're going to go on to our wet ingredients. And look, Oreo's already back. He just polished off a slice of bacon, and that's Oreo's third slice of bacon today. You're so spoiled, little boy. I'm going to wash my hands because I had to pet him. And I'm not even a dog person, but I fell in love with this little one. All right, so back to our wet ingredients. We're going to take a full cup of sour cream. Sour cream's always a pain to get out of the measuring cups. And then you're going to do a cup of water, quarter cup of water. Sorry about that. And I'm always messy. And a quarter cup of oil. I use canola. You can use vegetable oil, but canola is better for you, especially if you have high cholesterol, like I do. And then you're going to add 2 eggs. And then you're going to mix that in before we add it to our wet ingredients. Now that your wet ingredients are mixed, we're going to add it to the dry ingredients and mix it so we have our batter for our pistachio muffins. You want to start with probably about half of the mix. Mix it a little bit and then you'll add the other half. Now I'm going to add the rest of the mix. step of these yummy muffins, well, not last step, I shouldn't say. The next step is to add pistachios, but you don't want to add whole pistachios. You're going to grind them up a little bit in your food processor. I have my little mini guy right here that helps me out with a lot. So this is a half a cup of pistachios. Normally you'd want to use unsalted pistachios, but I use salted because I like things salty. And these things are so good. And I'm going to give it a couple, you don't want it like powder. Oh, I forgot, I'm going to add a teaspoon of lemon zest, and I'll add that right to the pistachios too. Just a couple of little mixes, and then you can see some of its pieces a little bit bigger than others. And then you're going to add that right, you're going to fold that right into the batter. Before I mix that, check that out. Look how good that looks. Oh, and there's our oven beeping to say it's preheated. And then you just want to fold it in. You don't want to mix it with the mixer because then it'll break up the pistachios a little too much. Now we're ready to fill our muffin tins, but that won't even be the last step. So let's fill our muffin tins, and then I'm going to show you one final step. I'm going to go making a mess. There's some nuts on the floor for Oreo later. Now we're ready to fill our muffin tins. I use 2 tablespoons because I don't have an ice cream scoop. So we can go back and add more, but that's a pretty good amount right there. You want to just fill each one. And then any leftover batter, we can go back and fill them in so they're nice and full. So now all the muffin bins are full, so I'm going to go back and add more batter because I don't want to waste any of this goodness. And I still have quite a bit left. And the more full that the bins are, the bigger the head of the muffin is, and that's the best part of the muffin. So, yeah. So you want to gauge by the ones that have like less and make sure they get filled first. This batter looks so good, I just want to eat it right now. Now the last step, I know it's a lot of work, but definitely worth it. Another half a cup of pistachios back in the food processor. You're probably saying to yourself, whoa, more nuts? Yes, more nuts. The more nuts, the better. And again, just a couple of, because you want it kind of mixed, a little powder, a little chunky. And then I also have a tablespoon of sugar. And then I'm going to add the pistachios right to the sugar. And because I don't have a spoon now and my hands are clean, I'm just going to mix it with my hand, the sugar and the pistachios. And then you're going to take that and you're just going to be as messy as you want because they're just going to get all over the place. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be as messy as you want. I'm just messy. these bad boys are ready for the oven. And they're in the oven right now for 375. There's the first one. And here's the second one. Okay, now the muffins in the oven, you're gonna bake it on 375 for 5 minutes. No, the muffins aren't gonna be done in 5 minutes. Then you're gonna lower the temperature to 350 and then bake it additional about 15 to 18 minutes. I usually just do the 15, so a total of 20 minutes. So after 5 minutes, you're gonna switch it to 350. All right, now it's 5 minutes have passed, so I'm changing the temperature without taking the muffins out to 350. And now I'm gonna time it for another 15 minutes. And I'll see you back in 15 minutes. So the 15 minutes is done. I've been smelling these things for the last 15 minutes and I was getting anxious because I just want to eat them. So now I'm just going to shut off the oven. I don't even need to check them because I know they're going to be fabulous. A little steam. It's great for the skin. And these gloves are awful. Hold on a second. These are the biggest gloves, so they're very hard to grab anything. But look how good those look. Pretty amazing. And I got one mini one because I didn't borrow enough batter from the other things. So there's your lovely pistachio muffins. Me and my husband will be eating those all week for breakfast, so I can focus on teaching. Thank Oreo for his assistance. Well, he just ate the bacon. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and subscribe if you haven't yet. And we'll see you next time.